Wisconsin Republican Governor Scott Walker is believed by Wisconsin prosecutors to have been at the center of a, quote, criminal scheme to violate election laws, along with top Wisconsin Republican political operatives. Court documents released today allege that Walker and his allies illegally coordinated fundraising with outside conservative groups, including the Wisconsin Club for Growth, to boost Walker and other Wisconsin Republicans as they fought against the recall efforts in that state 2 years ago. No charges have been filed against Walker, who won that recall election and is up for a second term this fall. Court documents surfaced in relation to what is known in Wisconsin as a John Doe investigation. It's a secret inquiry to determine whether a crime has been committed and by whom. That investigation grew out of a separate, earlier inquiry into Walker's time as Milwaukee County executive before he was governor. And that led to the convictions of 6 people, including 2 former Walker aides convicted of illegally doing political work on county time. Walker did not respond to our request and invitation to come on the show to respond to the new allegations. But in a series of tweets today, he deemed the prosecutor's claims categorically false, wrote that 2 judges have ruled that no laws were broken, and called the inquiry nothing more than a partisan investigation with no basis in state law. Joining me now on the phone is Ruth Conniff, editor-in-chief of the Progressive magazine, who has been covering this story. Ruth, can you tell me, first of all, why we're seeing these documents now?
Well, Chris, the reason that we're seeing these documents now is that the Club for Growth wants this investigation to go away. So they went to federal court and they asked the judge to review whether the investigation had any merit at all. And in response to that request, the federal judge looked through all these documents and released today a whole lot of new information that we hadn't seen before that pertains to that very question. So he has the arguments of the lead prosecutor, a Republican, by the way, Fran Schmitz, saying this is a grotesque violation of Wisconsin campaign finance law. And furthermore, for the first time we hear Walker is a target of the investigation and is deemed to be at the center of this criminal behavior, this coordination. And the evidence for that is that Walker wrote an email in his own words to Karl Rove explaining that there is a coordinated activity that his right-hand man, the former head of the Republican Party in Wisconsin, R.J. Johnson, a close campaign advisor of Walker's, is working with outside groups and coordinating the efforts and making a pitch to Karl Rove that Crossroads GPS, Karl Rove's group, ought to put big money into Wisconsin because this is a nationally significant coordinated effort for this, triumph of these right-wing groups and Republicans in Wisconsin. So it really looks like a slam dunk. I mean, this is the smoking gun that did not come out of the first John Doe investigation. That is to say that Walker was not only a target, but really at the center of this entire thing.
So when you say, did he use the word coordinating in that email that he wrote to Karl Rove?
He said, yes. He said that Karl Rove is organizing this entire thing. And the text is in all the news coverage today, and there's a lot of news coverage
right.
today.
So here's my question. What's illegal about this, right? I mean, walk me through this, because I think there's a few responses you get from Walker and Republicans. One is that this has been looked over a ton. This is a partisan vendetta witch hunt. The other is, this is politics. Like, this is politics. In fact, the federal district judge threw this out and said this is First Amendment protected activity.
Okay, Judge Rudolph Randa, the federal judge, the only judge in the state of Wisconsin who is a frequent flyer to Koch brothers-funded retreats for conservative activists, who is a member of the Federalist Society, did in fact write an opinion saying that campaign finance law in Wisconsin should not apply and that there should be free spending in races. Complete access by outside groups to do whatever they want to do, run as many ads as they want, spend billions of dollars in our state. That's not what the law says in Wisconsin, but there are a lot of conservative ideologues who believe that that's what the law should say. Randa also in that decision asked that the prosecutors insisted, in fact, that they destroy all of the evidence in this case. And had that happened, had the Seventh Circuit Court not reversed that decision by Randa, we would never have seen this email from Scott Walker to Karl Rove. So, yes, there are conservative ideologues who are arguing really forcefully that this is a partisan witch hunt, in spite of the fact that it's led by a Republican prosecutor, that there ought not to be these campaign finance laws. But that position is not the position of the law. It's not a state of the law in Wisconsin. And right now what we're going to find out is what the federal court thinks of the Club for Growth argument that this entire investigation should stop in its tracks. And it would be, in the words of the Washington Post today, just a grotesque miscarriage of justice if that were to happen, because the law in Wisconsin is very clear. This is illegal.
All right, so finally here, how is this playing right now in Wisconsin? What's the press been like today?
People are amazed and shocked because this is the smoking gun. It is, Walker, in his own words, saying, we need to get this act together with all of these groups, and R.J. Johnson is the point person on it, and we're coordinating.
Ruth Conniff from the Progressive Magazine. Thanks for joining us by phone. We lost the shot due to weather, but your voice is so gripping that it worked anyway. Thanks a lot.